Hi there, very good morning. Welcome back to ET Now. You're watching Market Café with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Srishti Sharma. Over the next 1 hour, we'll talk about all the global and domestic cues that you must watch out for and also tell you about the stocks that you need to keep on your radar today. But let's get started with an eye on the globe and see how the Wall Street fared overnight. And it was a negative day coming in for the US markets. Now, all of the US stocks, they did end in the red as the street trimmed exposure to big tech and AI-related names. Now, in terms of regular trading, the S&P 500 that slipped about 0.3%, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq composite that fell about 0.5% in trade yesterday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average that also dropped nearly 250 points or about 0.5%. Now, this pressure came from some of this year's biggest winners. Nvidia, for instance, fell about more than 1%. Palantir slid about 2.5%. Oracle also lost more than 1%, and Tesla that tumbled over 3% in trade yesterday. In fact, market participants are now remaining watchful or wary of the stretched valuations in the artificial intelligence plays. In fact, analysts have also said that the street is increasingly concerned about overbuilding in the AI space. Material stocks, they also weighed on the sentiment yesterday. Precious metals miner Newmont, that sank nearly 6% after silver futures posted their worst session since 2021. So yes, that's about the US market. And looking ahead, traders will focus on fresh home price data that is due later today, followed by the release of Federal Reserve's December meeting minutes in the afternoon, which could furthermore offer more insight into the central bank's policy outlook going forward. And finally, just a reminder here that US markets will be closed on Thursday due to New Year's Day. So yes, that's about the US markets, Srishti. But how are things looking on the crude front?
Quite interesting, Kanishka, because it's not just the crude within the commodity basket, but a whole host of other commodities, especially the precious metals that we're seeing to be having very big moves, and there the action was quite amazing. Firstly, let's start with the natural gas prices, because natural gas as of now is seen to be holding in. A bit of a rebound is what we are getting to see after storage decline, wherein the US natural gas futures actually rose towards 4 million British thermal units. That's the mark that we are getting to see over there. But interesting moves in the precious metal side, especially look at the move in gold, because just yesterday there was almost a 4% drop that we have seen on the gold prices. For now, at the start of the morning, we are seeing it to be holding a bit steady at around $4,346 per ounce mark. Other than that, we'll talk in detail with respect to silver prices, because there we have seen quite a massive move. But along with that, with respect to the crude oil prices, even crude oil prices did jump almost 2% on an intraday basis. Now, crude prices were seen to be steady amid that whole Russia-Ukraine tensions. There's Venezuela that is reportedly shutting the wells in a key oil-rich region. And along with that, it's Saudi airstrikes in Yemen and Iran's full-scale war comments. These are some of the factors that are definitely helping the crude oil move. And as of now, Brent oil is around that $61.25 per barrel mark. So that's about the crude oil prices. But silver specifically, silver steadied after its biggest one-day drop in more than 5 years. Now, as trader booked the profit following a powerful year-end rally, its futures had logged their worst day since 2021, tumbling nearly 9% after hitting a record $80 an ounce. Now, from peak to through, the prices have slid 15% in a historic intraday reversal, and gold, however, remained little changed after tumbling the most in 2 months. Now, silver is still about like 140% higher this particular year itself.